feel like your builds are looking too much like this, or maybe your multiplayer builds feel like they have no direction. Perhaps you just want to see a staunch line of spears actually work. Well, this is a place to be. Starting at the most basic level, you need to make sure you aren't putting yourself massively behind when making an army. To start, make sure you're not wasting funds on unnecessary abilities, heroes, and units. If it's not your win condition or directly supporting your win condition, it needs cutting. Most abilities and spells are not cost effective, and even for the ones that are, you need to use them in a very specific way to get your monies back. You'll then take a single spell and the lore passive, since that's typically worth it, and start building to defend your win condition. Now that's a theory, but that's not enough. With so many factions, you'll need some examples. Take a look at this Beastman build. Can you identify the win condition and the units you need to cut? In this case, your win condition is going to be your single entities. But first, we're going to cut all the abilities on the single entities. The abilities are much less cost efficient than you would expect, and the money is much better spent on defending your single entities rather than boosting them up. Your Brave Shaman will only need one spell too, since even the cheapest spells, when spammed, will use all your winds of magic. Next we'll cut the Angora Raiders. They're best against unarmored large monsters, but because you already have single entities as your win condition, you don't really need to worry about monsters. And just like that, you have 2,500 gold in the bank to spend as you wish. With the examples out of the way, do you think you can make your own army from scratch? Well, first let's think about the win condition. Typically it needs to be high damage and have a large battlefield impact. This can be mobility or range, and it has to be able to get more value than you spent on it. Your win condition should consist roughly between 3,000 and 4,000 gold, and as a good rule of thumb, if you're using your micro primarily to defend or boost the value of a unit, it's probably your win condition, and you should cater your build more towards that. Now after you have your win condition, how are you going to defend it? I can hear it already. The campaign viewers are asking why the whole army can't be a win condition, and I'm here to remind you that that's crazy cost inefficient. Instead, you just need to make sure you can properly handle the main threats. Remember, you only need to defend your win condition from these threats, and some of them will be less common than others based on your opponent's faction. You don't have to kill them either, simply warding them off until the late game is usually enough to win. So go forth and try making your own well-rounded builds. This series will be following a campaign player trying out multiplayer for the first time and giving the most relevant advice to up their game. If you'd like to see that journey, subscribe to catch the next video in the series. Check out the channel too if you're looking for more Warhammer tips, tricks, and advice from a tournament professional.